What does Star Wars and the iPhone have in common? More than you'd think. Yes, this story starts with George Lucas and Steve Jobs. Before Pixar became a household name, it was just a small graphics division tucked away inside Lucasfilm. George Lucas wanted better tools to make movies. Not new stories, just better tech. Then along came Steve Jobs, fresh off being kicked out of Apple. He bought the struggling division, hoping to turn it into a high-end computer company. For years it didn't work. The computers flopped. The software barely sold. The only thing that got attention? Little animated shorts the team made to show off what their technology could do. One of those shorts featured a hopping desk lamp and became the logo you know today. But Pixar's real pivot happened with Toy Story, the first feature-length film made entirely with computers. No one had ever done it. Even Disney thought it was risky. But it worked, and not just financially. Toy Story proved animation could be cinematic, emotional, even adult, without losing its kid appeal. What followed was a decade of unmatched creative output. A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up. Each film had a distinct voice, tone, and visual style. They weren't just stories. They were experiments in theme and emotion. WALL-E, for example, opens with 40 nearly silent minutes. No dialogue, just a lonely robot and a ruined planet. And yet, it held audiences. Up made grown adults tear up in the first 10 minutes, with a montage, no less. These weren't just good animated films. They were good films, period. Over 30 years and more than 24 feature films, Pixar has shaped how the world sees animation. It stopped being a genre and started being a medium, flexible, powerful, and capable of storytelling that live action sometimes couldn't match. And here's something not everyone notices. Their movies rarely relied on villains. Instead of evil bad guys, most conflicts are internal. Fear, jealousy, control, grief. Inside Out isn't about defeating a villain. It's about understanding sadness. That shift toward emotional storytelling is part of what made Pixar stand out in a sea of talking animals and pop culture jokes. Of course, not every film landed the same way. The Good Dinosaur faced a troubled production and never quite connected. Cars, too. Well, let's just say it happened. And while not every title reached Pixar's usual heights, even their less celebrated entries, like Luca and Turning Red, offered something memorable, a bold concept, a distinct visual style, or a surprisingly thoughtful theme beneath the surface. They rarely felt phoned in. If anything, they often felt too ambitious for their moment. Then came Inside Out 2, a sequel that didn't just match the emotional depth of the original, it surpassed expectations, dominated the global box office, and for a brief time became the highest-grossing animated film in history. Not just a win, but a statement. Pixar still had something to say and people were ready to listen. Across nearly 3 decades, Pixar has built a library of stories that are funny, sharp, devastating, and endlessly rewatchable. Not because of flashy tech, but because they always put the story first. It all started with a failed computer division and a desk lamp. Today, it's one of the most influential studios in the history of film. And if history's any guide, Pixar's next story might be the one that stays with us the longest.